Hey there, everyone. This is Jeremy Gaffney, and I'd like to welcome you to our first ever official dev vlog of Skullbot Games, where we're going to talk about the game that we have been working on, also known as Gone Viral. And so, what we're going to do today is I'll talk briefly about what the game is, since we're unannounced. Nobody knows who the heck we are. We're going to actually show some gameplay because that's where it's at, and we'll basically do a let's play of first level or so maybe of the game, and then we're going to take questions and answer anything we can do. We're going to do a fairly short stream today of only about 30 minutes or so, and so buckle up and we'll show off some cool stuff. So one might ask, what is Gone Viral? That is a fantastic question. What we're all about is basically you are a prisoner. And you're fighting your way out of an arena for the amusement of a whole bunch of psychotic fans. And so it's kind of a battle game. Here we are now having entered the arena. You'll notice spotlights on you. You're being televised in this sort of gladiatorial arena. And the fans, the more viewers that you can get, you'll see those viewers there in the upper right-hand corner. The more viewers you can get, the more cool stuff they'll send you. Mutations, they'll send you different weapons, different armor, all that kind of cool stuff. And of course you get some starting stuff. Pick up our flak jacket. This is just your sort of basic, it gives you 1 point of protection kind of armor, no interesting stats. And almost everything in the game does have interesting stats. This is like a highly combinatorial roguelite. All the dungeon you're going to see is procedurally generated, and it's all about basically going and causing as much carnage as possible. And that's literal, it's not just a figurative thing. The more cool moves you do, you'll see little skulls pour out of things, that will actually generate carnage, and your audience, of course, loves carnage. This is our attempt to give kind of a style point, like a way of showing off. If you pull off an awesome move, if you smack a guy into another guy and kill him with his buddy, hey, the audience loves it, lots of carnage. If you knock a guy into a trap or a pit, spinning blades, carnage, carnage, carnage. If you can kill a whole bunch of guys at once with explosions, you can drop a nuke on someone's head. Each of these things gives you carnage. And so your goal is to rack up as much as possible so that you can, get more powerful and earn your way eventually. If you can get viewers on your side, you're going to be able to get out of this sort of prison that you're trapped in. So let's go check this out. One thing I'll mention before I even open up the first door, we're kind of a melee shooter hybrid. What's that mean? That means is your main weapon here is your sword, and you're going to do a lot of slashing and hacking with it. You can charge up your sword to do more powerful attacks yet. But really, one of your main weapons is your enemies themselves. You can whack guys, walloping we call it internally, for what we call pinball combat. And this means that your enemies in many ways are kind of your projectiles. But rather than going yap about it, I'll just go do it. Short form, I'm going to try to knock as many guys as I can into traps. Going to kill as many guys with their own bullets or into their buddies or knock bullets around. We'll sort of see what we can pull off in terms of cool moves. Okay, so first off, here we have a nice little barrel. I like barrels because bang, we can kill a couple of people real easy. We're fighting a little horde of robots in this particular room, and what we're going to try to do here is, even though this guy's almost dead, so let's just set off this barrel and use that, kill him. We got a trap kill, we got more carnage. We racked up a pretty good amount of carnage inside of this room, which gained us a bunch of viewers. Our little rewards here are, since I am so awesome I've not taken damage, not really going to help us. You can see in these rooms, we choose rooms randomly. You'll see a little mini-map fill out as we explore here with what rooms are picked on this level. Our overall goal is really to make sure that you have kind of an interesting time going on. Here's a trap throwing spinning blades. We do lots of physics tricks in the game. If I can pull this off right, I'll try to kill as many dudes as I can with one shot to rack up extra points. You don't have to kill guys with spinning blades here, but hey, since they're here and I happen to know you can hit them, why the heck not? I can't, so we'll just go kill them. And I took bad damage because I failed. No carnage. They didn't like what I did. I gained like 1 viewer out of the room because, contrary to what I said in the last room, apparently I kind of suck. But that's okay. We're going to move through. And luckily, because I have all my little armor here, I can repair up. And we're going to go, this is an example of kind of a rolling trap that you can use to move it around the room, be able to bump guys into it. As much as possible, we've tried to do things so that there's, oh yes, that's a skill. I killed a guy with his buddy, and they blew each other up. all sorts of nice cards for that. But you know what, if I had been a little smarter, those guys are bomb spiders and they blow up when they die. And so if I had been a little cleverer, I would have been able to knock them maybe into these things here and pick up some of this extra loot that's around. Well, hopefully I'll be able to get a bomb or something and get some access to that later myself. Ah, my first vault. What do we have here in our treasure room? Furious. Right now, I can swing my sword kind of fast. And this is a stat-based game, sort of RPG elements. So your fury is a stat that you swing faster. The more I am able to rack up that stat, the faster I'm able to attack. And so you have different stats that'll do things like POW, which gives you more damage. You can smack things further with different stats. There's all sorts of good stuff about that. Okay, now we're going to do this here. A little turret in the middle, who I seem to have managed to kill. This seems like a good opportunity to maybe get a multi-kill with these dudes. Yeah. Yeah, let's use you to jump in there. Ah, there we go. That's pretty good. Fair amount of stuff dropping, and I've been granted Bombardier. Any bombs I drop, now I'm going to drop multiple bombs instead of single bombs whenever I drop a bomb. And luckily, I haven't actually picked any up yet, but I am sure that will change. Here we have, this is interesting, so no combat in this particular room, but we have a little jumpy puzzle type action. Okay, that was pretty slick. You dash, is how you get across pits and such. And the, fail. There's a thing here, and I don't have any dang keys. And not only that, I've knocked my repair and my frustration into the pit itself. So I have, once again, not successfully traversed this room in a happy fashion. Maybe I'll get a key, though, and that'll let us do it. Hey, new monster types. Let's get you with, I can't do that. My barrel, you're immune to your barrel. That's a whole bunch of fail going on there. There we go. And I set off a barrel with that, but not soon enough to actually do any damage. Okay, so we're going to do a little pinball in action here as much as possible. The more you can knock guys in the guys, you get lots of extra bonus damage for doing so. And so it's a very happy thing to do whenever you can. You don't get a lot of points just for killing a dude. Cornering a guy into a wall and just beating him up. You get a couple points for it, but nothing really special. So we try to avoid that wherever possible if you're interested in getting carnage. And so, and we are, because we like fat loot. I'm blowing this up because I can. But no real good loot here in terms of what I can unlock. Oh well. Hey, yet more new creatures. These guys can be a little tricky to take out. I'm not going to name any names on our team, but some people just can't seem to figure it out. These guys, any damage they take at all is going to set them off. So I'll actually shoot a projectile over there to get them. You have ammo. You can. There's a whole slew of different kinds of projectiles. Probably next week I'll even show off a new kind as our sort of main projectile. You know what? We're gonna drop a bomb here so we can maybe get that key. Hey, I have Bombardier, so I have 2 bombs actually. Double the fun for blowing it up. Yay for having mutations. I'll show off a more interesting projectile even next week in all likelihood because our game's so much about moving guys around. We've really been experimenting with some neat stuff around that. Well, since I have bombs, and since I've gotten the treasure room, and because I'm too broke for any kind of shop type action to be interesting, I think we'll go in here and we'll fight the Gatekeeper, our level 1 boss. The Gatekeeper he's a bit of a jerk. He is all sort of bomb based, and so he has little minions here which are dropping bombs. He's trying to drop missiles on my head in the middle of all this. But he also is vulnerable to bombs, so we're going to try to do our best here to set that off. That was a pretty massive little thing. Because he's been kind enough to throw me some bombs at me trying to hit me, because everything is like physics-based, you can knock all sorts of stuff around. I'm going to try to knock back his own bombs on him to be able to, get out of there, to be able to do that. He's got his shields up, can't really hurt him, but luckily, his bombs, hey, look at that, free carnage. Thank you very much. You are the best. Well, now here's an interesting thing. I have a new weapon. New weapons tend to fundamentally change your attack style. Right now I've been all melee based. This little bubble wand here allows me to fire these little bubble projectiles. They don't do a ton of damage, but they are kind of interesting in terms of, now I'm mostly a shooting guy. I can still knock guys back a little bit, but this weapon's really based around being able to shoot. Don't need to worry about ammo. It's chock full of ammo. And you'll note, I earned a new thing from the viewers this time. They sent me a viewer challenge. These are things that can help you, they can hurt you, but they kind of modify the next room that you enter, and so it's best if you use them strategically. In this case, we have bounce. Guys we hit are going to bounce around. Bullets I shoot are going to bounce around in the next room. So this is like a temporary mutation, not just for me, but for anyone else that I'm fighting. So let's go find a room. You know what? We'll go wander over here, and just so I can show that off, I guess. Let's go find... Hey, repair. Oh, yay. If I had any more bombs, I would happily set you off. Unfortunately, I'm a little low on the bombage. Okay, so we're going to go in here. Viewer challenge is going to start with bounce, and so everyone who's in there is going to be bullets bouncing around and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be pretty deadly in some rooms, but it's not one of the worst kind of viewer challenges you can get.
Viewer event.
Viewer event. Bounce. Okay, we'll do what we can here. Luckily, I'm able to sort of twin stick shoot my way around these dudes now. The bounce isn't hurting me too much because but too many guys all locked up. Fight and fail and not get in the pit. I have managed to cause myself a lot of damage, but not so much in terms of using bounce in any kind of interesting fashion. So fail on me. Let us go. We're doing pretty good on time, so I will pop down, I guess, one more floor, and we'll go check out what lies on the second floor of the dungeon. Now, one of the things that we try to do is make things more interesting over time. I think I'm going to stick with my sword. Like, shooting's okay, but I don't really have any mutations that help me with those shots. I don't know. You can see here, as you go down levels, a couple things happen. First of all, like, our enemies got more powerful. They gained reinforced, more hit points. Enemies can gain all sorts of stuff as you level up. And what makes them really tricky is those things stack. You go deeper and deeper in. Maybe you got, enemies got a speed buff. And then you go down another level and it's like, oh, enemies got another speed buff. You go down a third level and like, by the time you get down to the 5th level, if you got some unlucky rolls, you now have enemies that are like 5 times frickin' faster than they used to be, zipping around causing complete havoc. Or maybe they have a mix of stats. Our goal is that like every run is different, not just from how you change, but hopefully from how the dungeon lays itself out. As you choose which floors to go to, our overall hope is that, you can make some interesting strategic choices on a run basis. We're kind of fascinated by run building as a whole. It's cool when your character grows and your character gets more powerful, but it's also neat as well when you have different challenges thrown at you, so that maybe this run is particularly hard. Maybe by the time you get down to the top level, all the monsters doing a crap ton of damage. So you can't depend on the fact that like you have a lot of hit points. You more got to depend on the fact that like, okay, now I have to really concentrate on dodging, and it's a different experience than maybe it would have been otherwise. Why, hello, we've seen you before. So now, these shotguns, nice dodge. It earned me a couple extra bonus carnage points. That it doesn't stink. Let's try to get enough of these guys together so that we can just jump in there and smash them all into each other. Now, they're reinforced, so because of that, they're not taking as much damage as, or rather, when they take damage, they have a lot more hit points to them. I don't really have any interesting ways to kill this guy in here because there's just a lack of traps, so we're just not killing him. Otherwise, I'd love to do that. Oh, an arena. How interesting. So, you're a gladiator going through this dungeon, and so one of the things that you can do is, one of the best ways to gain carnage, gain a bunch of viewers, gain some extra rewards, is do arena rooms as they show up. These rooms are particularly tough. They can have mini-bosses, they can have multiple sets of spawns. In this particular case, there's a mutation in the middle that we're fighting for. And I can use these traps and stuff kind of as usual, so let's go get him in a pit. Oh, good. That was good. And he survived because he reinforced a little bugger. Here, take that and die. Yes, good. See, note, tons of stuff over here because I got a good trap kill. Bleedy crappy things. That was kind of a boring kill over there. Just killed him with my sword. You get in the... Well, actually, get the pit and die. Yay, good. A little extra bonus carnage. We'll scoop it up for extra goodies and rewards. Okay. We got psychics here. Psychics, these guys got to die first. They're basically mind controlling these fellas to be able to protect them. You guys are not smart. You guys are sitting on spikes. That is helpful. Let's help you out if you were not being very clever endeavor. Die and die. Excellent. Okay, next wave. Let's see what we got. Ooh, bombs. And this guy. Frenetic combat, can't speak. No more too much going on. Oh boy. Okay. Well, that was a little intense. Thank you, Doug, who made this room, who I know is watching in chat. Emperor's Boom, huzzah. This is an awesome mutation. I get all my stats up. That is quite lovely. So I got a little more health. I got a little more power. Here's a kind of like, this is, we're very early in development. This is like pre-alpha type stuff. We're just streaming for the heck of it, basically. It's about time to sort of start talking about our game publicly. Oh, fail. Because bombs have gone off, I'm going to have to do a mighty leap even just to get out of this room. Let's go do that. You may note, as nukes and things go off, floor deforms, we're not stuck with like a static dungeon. We're able to do more cool stuff than just be stuck with what we got. Maybe you'll see that. Okay, it's important to keep an eye on what viewer challenges you have coming up. We have Bombed coming up, which is nice. Let's see what rooms are nearby in case we get any hints by looking at what's up. Not really. So, Bombed. Well, we'll go see what happens. Your event. Bombed. So, now we have bombs raining from the sky. That's unfortunate. We have our trap room here. We don't have the luxury really of doing that, but luckily those bombs did a lot more and did a lot of multi-kills for us. That was able to rack us up a little extra carnage. Well, not too shabby. What do we have over here? Let's go take a peek. This is a special room, and it is... okay, this is a med lab. These can sometimes appear on things. And basically you can get little things in here where I can take my coins and this machine, the health gambler, and try to get extra free stuff out of it. I'm sorry, take my coins. I can try to spend my life points to be able to get some extra goodies. Not always successfully. What else do we want here? Let's pick up the extra health. This is interesting. This is genetic surgery. And what this will do is allow me to trade my permanent health for the mutation that's locked in here. And this is a very good mutation called Bullet Time. How do I know it's good? Well, because I kind of it. So I cheated a little bit. But for people who've never seen this game before, which would be everyone, since we basically are showing this off for the first time, don't have a thing. What's Bullet Time do? Well, note, as people shoot near me, I love it when enemies kill themselves. Bullets slow down as they get near me, so I'm not invulnerable to them, but God, it helps a lot. See, as I will prove with my own face. Let's take you out. Nice bunch of carnage. Yay. I actually do have a bomb, and so let's get some coinage. Yeah, Bombardier. Try not to kill me, please. Free coins. Yay. Yay, stuff in crates. You gotta have stuff in crates, We don't really have loot barrels around. We only have explodey barrels. But you gotta hit all of them. You don't need tropes in gaming if you can. You get over there. Well, I'm too strong. I blew them up. Okay, so now we got 4 bombs. We got 10 life. We do have this little minor heal over here. That's an injector, and so we'll use that to heal ourselves. These are gadgets, basically. We're gonna go grab another one here for 5 cents. The Half-Hearted, as you might guess, heals half of your full hit points. Not all gadgets are injectors. Sometimes you can get other little, mechanical devices. Maybe a turret that'll help you out, that kind of stuff. A lot of them, though, are injectors, and injectors are going to basically, do often a short-term buff on you. Sometimes they're going to do stuff that's a little more powerful. And who do we have here? Oh, hello. Well, hi, Mr. Executioner. What are we going to do to you? This is not a full-on boss. This is kind of a room boss. He's maybe a little more, he's so strong he can even blow holes in rocks. Die. This guy, best way to take him out. If I had a good ranged weapon, I could probably do that best, because he's pretty frenetic on this. Otherwise, we're going to kind of duck in here, knock him back out of our range. Die, die, die. And that'll do it. Oh, can I pick up his axe? No, I can't. Sorry about that. Maybe someday. He's just a little room boss, and he's got to be fought in more of sort of a Dark Souls-y sort of pattern, where you're timing his attacks, you sort of know what's coming up, you dodge in, you dodge out. If you have certain mutations, you can kind of do a better job. I don't even know what's in this room. Oh, hello. We have stompers. We have drone factories, which are always nice. Let's try to get you in a pit. Good. Your dang reinforced enemies here will at least kill you with your buddy, maybe. Die. Die. Oh, I didn't even get any cool moves off, and I took damage. Just life is hell. Everything's going horribly right here. Suck it. There we go. Get in the nuke. See those big nuke things? They are the actions that will actually destroy the floor as we're going at it. The die, and yes. Okay, all is good. I feel happier with life now. The, okay, Vault. Good. I have not had nearly enough mutations at this point, so we need more of that. Oh, God. Do I want Brute? I think I do, because it's really tough to argue with raw power, but Brute trades you a whole bunch of hitting damage, but now I'm like slow. Luckily, I had enough of a boost from some of my other stuff that I'm not achingly slow, but God, this thing can be a pain in my butt when you're not at a high zip. We give all of our stats kind of like simple names. Let's go take a peek at them real quick. See, I got a mighty power going on here. That's because I've got Fury. I'm in dev mode. We're cheating. So you can ignore anything where it says dev mode, like we display extra stuff while we're playing in development mode. We'll show some stuff because, one of our goals here is not just show off the game, but, sort of lift some of the veil of game development. And I've been in games for like a billion years. I started a company called Turbine Entertainment like a bajillion years ago. I was at EA. I worked on Ultima Online 2. I've been at NCSoft. I ran a bunch of product development type stuff for them. I'm full of bombs. That means we got to actually do some more bomb damage here. And here, hit that. And here, take that. And here, take that. And I failed life. What do we want here? I think we want. So we got one of those. I mentioned the turret, and by God, he appears. Let's go take a peek in the shop and see if anything good's for sale. We don't have a ton of money, but maybe. Let's see. Our choice is here. Now, trap immunity armor, I gotta say, is pretty darn good because there's a lot of traps here. I'll grab that. This is not a bad example. I wish I had more money because I could use more stuff in there. But trap immunity armor kind of rocks, and why is because traps abound in this dungeon. So now, these things might have hurt me before, these little spike balls. Well, now I can shove them around because I'm immune to the trap damage that they cause. If there's a pit, which I'm sure there will be at some point because I'll make one, oh no, a pit, what if I fall in? Well, hey, I'm immune to traps now, so I just bounce out without taking damage. Life is good. Oh, spikes, that would be horrible. Oh no, a nuclear bomb, whatever will happen if that hits me? Oh, well, crap, of course I'll damage myself with bombs because I failed life. I'm even immune to those strong nukes, and so and I'm immune to the pits which it causes. And so life just got a lot easier for me. Unfortunately, this run's going to end pretty soon because I don't want to go off too long. And also, we're pre-alpha, so if there's a main thing we're working on right now, it is content. You get over there. You get over there. Let's use my turret and have that do some killing for us. And here, slash, kill, and hack. See, kind of lame there. I didn't really do anything too awesome. So I got 10 frickin' carnage out of what's a pretty big room. That's like a boo. Like that definitely, a skilled player could have pulled off something better there. Now, not for nothing, but because no one else has played the game but a couple of us on the team, I'm about the most skilled player around. So, not to brag or nothing, but apparently I'm a pretty big deal when it comes to that. As soon as we have a actual tester, I suspect that I will rapidly become one of the worst players around, however. I have no illusions. Oh, hello. A barrel near a coin rock. Whatever could I do with all this free loot? Why, thank you. You're the best. I accept. Okay, so I think that is probably a pretty good place to pause for the moment. And if there are anything that, if there's any questions that anyone wants to answer, I'm happy to do so. Blob Dole, who's sitting in chat, is another Skullbot founder, and so he is also available to answer anything on that front. The otherwise is going to fairly close to wrap it up for our first ever sort of dev stream. And I hope you appreciated that. So to summarize, let's go do the boss fight, I guess, while I talk. To summarize, what do we got going on here? We have a ton of traps and stuff in the arena. The more you can use those to kind of help you out, the more you can pull off cool moves or use enemies against each other, the more carnage you get. More carnage equals more users equals more mutations. Our real goal here is to basically try to make it so that you have as many cool combinatorial things as possible. Since I didn't get a ton this run, let me go cheat up a little bit here. Of course I changed what my cheat was. That is unhelpful. I was going to spawn in a couple random mutations, but I have failed to be able to do so. So I'll tell you what, let's go show off a little dev stuff since we're not scared to do that kind of thing here. Let's quit out of the game. I will go out here. We do all of our development in Unreal. We use sort of a combination of C++ and we use blueprints for a lot of stuff. One of the things we'll do in future devlogs is we'll actually go in and fix bugs. Not that we have any bugs, you know, we're perfect in all ways. We'll add more content. We'll do some of that every week. We're going to be streaming. Our intent is to stream Thursdays, 5 o'clock on Pacific time. There'll usually be a couple hour stream. Especially, you know, we're starting off. We're not broadcasting about our streams. If you're watching this, 99% chance you're watching it as a VOD, as opposed to actually being able to be there for it because we are brand new. But over time, we'll stretch those longer and longer so we can have a little more interaction, respond to feedback. You know, we're very open dudes. We've all come out of sort of different areas of the AAA industry. I worked on City Heroes. I was like one of the suit type dudes working on Guild Wars. Chris, who's our art director, was art director for Diablo 3, worked on Darksiders. Doug worked with me on Wildstar, came out of Blizzard before that. Despite the fact that we're sort of a weird hybrid of like AAA guys who are like, okay, not that 350 person teams aren't cool and all, but it's a little easier to kind of run in one direction if there's a couple of you doing small team stuff. So that's really our goal over time. And our hope is that we can be pretty responsive and pretty open about this stuff because, you know, we love games. We've been making them for forever and we'd like to lift that veil a little bit. So to show off one kind of final thing here then, let's go dig into code for a little bit. So I can go hook up the cheat, which I changed earlier. This is boring in terms of overall game development, I suppose, but there you go. This is in Blueprints. Blueprints, as you may well know, you know, it's a scripting, visual scripting language that comes out there inside of the, what do you call it, that comes out from, let's do this, let's go to colon, let's change this key, we'll make this be, this key will be, I don't know anything will do, let's just do a slash key for the moment. Slash key is going to spawn a random mutation out of our pools, and we'll give ourselves a missile launcher as well, because missile launchers are cool. We do a lot of our work in Blueprints, that visual scripting language, before I distracted myself. But we also do a fair amount in C++ as well. We're using 3ds Max for animation. You know, we'll talk more about this stuff over time, but the short form of it is that really we're able to do a vast bulk of stuff inside inside of Unreal. When we are working on these kind of things, the number one thing that we're doing that's kind of tricky is really building everything to be as combinatorial as humanly possible. What's combinatorial mean? That means that the more that I pick up things, the more they add to what's going on. This is something that games like, you know, Binding Isaac was like brilliant at this. Enter the Gungeon's quite good at it. Nuclear Throne's really good at it. The more you get powers, they change your inputs. You know, they change how you actually interface with stuff. They change the effects of things that you're doing. So let us here. So here I am. Got my basic stored. Started at the beginning of the dungeon. Let's take a look and see, you know, what all I can get out of this. Let's get a few different mutations spawned randomly. Well, what do all these do? I'm going to take a look here. So here's what it looks like when I fight a single creature right now. Let's bring in a little robot. We smack him into the wall. We're doing moderate amounts of damage. And, you know, he goes flying fairly far, because, you know, we're all about using enemies kind of as projectiles. When I pick up high impact, now he's going like super far. He's flying across the room. He's taking a bunch more damage from shots and that kind of stuff because high impact makes it so that my wallops are much stronger. Mind Over Bullets is another thing. Now, when I have an enemy that shoots at me, he's going to fire. Now, I can actually shoot his bullets. I can knock the bullets back into him. I can knock bullets into other enemies. But also they become friendly to me. You know, I take them over, and so if I can kill a guy with his own bullet, come on. Oh, fail. Oh, I killed him accidentally because I am too mighty and powerful. Let's kill a dude with his own bullets if we can manage it. Adrenaline rush, I'm faster, which is actually helpful if I'm trying to knock bullets out of the air. And oh, you know what would help? Hey, look at that, we grab bullet time. Now I get an air bullet, it slows down. I got a lot easier job of hitting it. And you'll note here what I get. I got a karma kill. I got deflection points. The audience loves cool moves. And so in this particular case, I got extra bonus points or stylish moves that I can pull off only when I have certain mutations or certain combinations. And so you can't get a deflection, if you can't hit the bullets back into them. You can't get a karma kill. Karma means I took your own bullet, I turned it into my bullet, I killed you with it. That's kind of tricky to get, but with mind over bullets, you can absolutely do that. So that was a good example of like, hey, when I got that bullet time, slowing down bullets, it made mind over bullets even better. Here's one that would actually make it a little worse in some ways. My fury now just went up super high, so now I can, attack as fast as I want. However, it comes with a penalty. That penalty is that now, when I fire, there's more, you see my shots are going kind of all over the place. So I can attack faster with that. And that even applies as I hit bullets from other people. So if I hit this, it's going to go off at a much more random angle now than it otherwise would have. And so this, arguably, I'm going to kill you with your own bullet because I like the karma kills. Die. See, nice ton of carnage, because that's kind of a rare move to be able to pull off, especially since, that's a bit of an uncommon mutation to have. So the goal here is that you got to think and trade, hey, how powerful am I going to get from this, or what exactly is going to get me by doing it? If you're familiar with other roguelites, you've probably seen that kind of thing before, but the fact that we're a primarily melee game lets us do a lot of combos that aren't really standard for that. Electric personality, this can help a lot. This, based on, if I'm close to enemies, I can get some random zaps occasionally happening to be able to beat them up. Not too bad. Right now it happens, kind of rarely, but it's helping me out. It's doing a little bit of extra damage. The key to this, though, is that this is actually based on a stat that's called it. What's your it? It's like your it factor. It's, how exactly, how charismatic you are. It's how much the fans like you. You get extra bonuses for extra carnage and all that kind of stuff for having a high it. And so with that, your it is kind of matches luck stat plus charisma maybe from many games before. So if you're playing a run where you're really focusing on getting tons of audience rewards, high it helps a lot. Sometimes, like powerful but boring mutations, lower your it. Kind of saying like, okay, that's a nice safe choice, and like, yeah, you can smack guys, you can do a lot of damage, but now you've lost it, and so that means that the fans are going to like you less. You're going to get a little less carnage over time. It's a subtle effect, but it's one of those trade-offs, hey, what exactly, how are you going to build your run and how are you going to tune it? So, it is about time to wrap up, but let's go use all my new powers, because they're cool. These guys here, they're tar spiders. They're hucking a bunch of sticky stuff on the ground. And do we kill them close enough? If you can kill them close enough, you can chain up some combos and that kind of stuff. You can see some of my combos up top here as I'm doing different abilities of different kinds. That was a pretty good amount of carnage, actually, for what's not a very huge room. So, in summary, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. This is our game, of course, has gone viral. You are trying to, go figure, go viral, because people are sending you the mutation virus and you're getting infected with it while you're trying to rack up as many viewers as possible. It's like deep, man. You gotta think about this pretty hardcore. With that, we're a action roguelite. I don't know if we're a shooter. We're not really a twin stick shooter, but I can shoot. I don't know if there's is there a twin stick melee game type thing? If so, that's what we are. But because you can knock your dudes into other dudes, I don't know, what is that? Couldn't tell you. Anyway, if we were so we're kind of we're a twin stick something. We're a bit of a hybrid, and with that, everything's procedurally generated. We do lots of destructible terrain and all that kind of cool stuff. We have lots of random dungeons. As you go down, we have different levels with different things, different ways that they're built and stuff. Things get tougher. We'll talk about threat and all that in the future. We'll talk about what the end bosses look like. And hopefully, as you're watching these videos, you can actually watch the game develop over time as we add more content, as we add new features. We're having a good time developing the game. We've been working on it for a little bit over a year. We have fun with it. And really is what we're going to focus on next is doing polish, because you always want to polish. We're going to work on a ton of new content. That's new rooms, new creatures, new projectiles, new mutations, new everything. And we'll do a lot of that on stream, so you can actually see it happening in real time. Thank you for joining us. That's going to end our stream for now, and we'll see you next Thursday. Thank you very much.